Hi students, I am Dr. Bhavana. In this lecture we are going to deal with locomotion and movement. So what is locomotion? Movement of organisms from one place to another is known as locomotion. Whatever exercises we perform, walking, jogging or skipping, anything which we perform, all those come under locomotion only. These all are voluntary movements that are performed by the body. Voluntary movements means what? Which we are aware and which we want to do. Walking, suppose if you want to walk from one place to another, you should have that consciousness that you should walk from one place to another. Those all are voluntary movements. Involuntary movements means what? Whatever which are performed without you knowing actually. Heart rate, everything you won't control, respiratory rate, everything are not controlled by you. Those are involuntary movements. But voluntary movements means which you know and which you are actually doing. This is about the locomotion. So all the voluntary movements come under locomotion only. In smaller organisms, suppose like paramecium, the cilia play a very important role. Cilia which are present, those play a very important role in this locomotion. Cilia, how they help you? These cilia in them, they help in transportation of food as well as in locomotion. The cilia play two roles, that is they help in food as well as in locomotion for paramecium. What about other organisms? Like suppose for hydra, the tentacles which are present, they help in locomotion as well as prey for the organisms. Prey means what organisms it want to kill, these tentacles help. As well as these tentacles help in locomotion also. These cilia means, here the cilia play an important role in food and locomotion. But in our humans, the muscles play a very important role in locomotion. So normally first we will deal with what are the types of movements that are present. There are usually 4 types of movements that are associated. The 4 movements are, there are 4 types of movements that are present. That is, first one is amoeboid movement, second ciliary movement, third is muscular movement, whereas the fourth one is flagellar movement. Amoeboid movement means in our humans mainly and in many other animals, the macrophages as well as leukocytes which are present in the blood. Leukocytes means nothing but WBC. Macrophages means they engulf the foreign particles. These macrophages and leukocytes, as well as leukocytes, they help in amoeboid movement. And in smaller organisms like amoeba also, this amoeboid movement plays a very important role in amoeba. How it helps in amoeba? By streaming of protoplasm, and pseudopodia will be present in amoeba. In amoeba, there is pseudopodia which is present. This pseudopodia plays an important role in streaming of protoplasm, means protoplasm. Like in human bodies, how we have cytoplasm, like that protoplasm is present. This protoplasm helps in amoeboid movement. So this is about the amoeboid movement. Next we come to ciliary movement. In ciliary movement, the cilia plays a very important role. What are the use of this cilia? This cilia helps in passage of ovum. And in trachea also, before we have discussed in breathing and exchange of gases, in trachea also there are numerous ciliae which are present. These ciliae helps in removal of foreign particles. In our humans, trachea is present. In the trachea there are cilia present. These cilia helps in removal of foreign particles as well as in passage of ova in reproductive system also. Whereas in muscular movements, normally walking, running, everything are controlled by these muscles. These muscles help in muscular movement of the body. These muscles have a special property known as contractile property. Means they help in contraction. We will deal in detail about muscles. Next, flagellar movement also is present. Flagellar movement help in swimming of spermatozoa as well as this flagellar movement, it also plays an important role in movement of flagella. So these are the four types of movements that are present. First, initially we have discussed about locomotion. In paramecium, cilia plays a very important role. This is an important NEET question you should remember. They'll ask you in paramecium which one plays a very important role in locomotion and movement. Cilia plays a very important role. That is, it also plays a very important role in food as well as locomotion. It helps in passage of food through cytopharynx as well as in locomotion. Whereas tentacles in hydra, they act as a prey for organisms. Means if they want to kill the organisms, tentacles are used, as well as these tentacles play an important role in locomotion also. And there are four types of movements that are mainly associated. That is amoeboid movement, ciliary movement, muscular movement as well as flagellar movement. In amoeboid movement, the macrophages, leukocytes that are present in the blood, these help in amoeboid movement. Means they have a role of amoeboid movement. And amoeba also, it has pseudopodia. That is, they help in streaming of cytoplasm. Whereas in ciliary movement, this cilia plays a very important role. That is, the cilia, they are present in trachea. Where is trachea? Trachea is known as windpipe. In this trachea, it helps in removal of the foreign particles. Means whatever the dust that enters, everything is removed by this cilia. So this ciliary movement, passage of ova in the reproductive tract, everything this ciliary movement only takes place. Muscular movement means walking, running, everything that comes under muscular movement. What play an important role is, we know muscles play a very important role. As well as in flagellar movement, the spermatozoa, swimming of spermatozoa and movement of organisms, this all takes place through this flagellar movement. So these are the four types of movements. Next, mainly in humans, what plays an important role? Muscles play a very important role. So we will discuss about muscles. So muscles, they have mainly four properties. That is, contractibility, they help in contraction. Then extensibility, they help in extension of the muscles, extensibility. Next, elasticity property, as well as excitability. What are the four these of muscles? These are 3 E's as well as in C. Four main properties of muscles are extensibility, elasticity, excitability, 3 E's as well as one contractibility. About 40 to 50% of the muscles, they get contracted. About 40 to 45% of the muscles exhibit all these properties. like contractibility, extensibility, elasticity, as well as excitability. So these muscles, they have voluntary movement only. Voluntary movements means, I already told you, voluntary means if you want to do on your own, if you're willing to do only, these muscles play a very important role. There are mainly three types of muscles that are present. That is, I'll show you in a diagram. This is very important in NEET mainly. Mainly there are three types of muscles. That is skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, as well as cardiac muscle. In diagram I'll show you. See, this is the skeletal muscle. And in between they are attached by the nucleus. Numerous striations are present in the skeletal muscle. Numerous striations are present everywhere. They are attached to each other by nucleus. Okay, this is about the skeletal muscle. It helps in voluntary action, voluntary movements of the body. Mainly, it has striations as well as voluntary. Any skeletal component comes under the skeletal muscles. When all the skeletal components of the body come under the skeletal system. Next, when you come to smooth muscle, they are thin, long, slender structures. Thin and long and slender. These also have nucleus. Nucleus is present for these also. But here, what is the property of smooth muscle means? No striations. Like here striations are present, here striations are absent. And this is involuntary. Why it is involuntary? Because in alimentary canal as well as reproductive tract, everything, the smooth muscles are only present. Those are not under our control. So that's why they are called as involuntary. Here striations are also absent. Whereas in cardiac muscles, cardiac by meaning only understand where it is present means it is present in heart. See, cardiac muscles, they are present in the heart mainly. Here also they are connected by intercalated ducts. This is an extra information which I am providing you. What are the structures which connect to muscles? That is, intercalated discs are present. Or else they'll ask you in NEET like this. What is the special feature of cardiac muscle? Means intercalated discs are present. Here also striations are present. Striations are seen. And this is involuntary because cardiac muscle we can't control. So it is involuntary. So mainly these are of three types, that is skeletal muscle, smooth muscle as well as cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle means what? Mainly striations are present. Two important points to remember. Striations are present in skeletal as well as cardiac muscle. In smooth muscle, striations are absent. Whereas nucleus, it is present in all the three. Here also nucleus is present. Nucleus, so no need of that. You remembering that. Nucleus is present in all of the three. This is voluntary, this is involuntary, as well as this also is involuntary only. Mainly you should remember striations and whether they are voluntary or involuntary. These two are involuntary because they cannot be. Only skeletal muscle is voluntary. Striations, they are present in skeletal as well as cardiac. In smooth muscle they are absent. And how is these structures? This is the structure of skeletal muscle. Smooth muscle, they are thin tapered structures. Nucleus is present, no striations are present. In cardiac, intercalated discs are present as well as striations are present. So where is skeletal muscle seen? In any skeletal component of our body, we see skeletal muscles. Whereas smooth muscles, They are mostly seen in the alimentary canal as well as reproductive tract, everything. Cardiac muscles, they are mostly seen in the heart. So these are the mainly three types of muscles which are present in our human beings. Mainly skeletal, smooth as well as cardiac. Muscle which is present, it has numerous fascicles or muscle bundles. We can say fascicles or muscle bundles. Numerous will be present in the skeletal muscle. These all muscle bundles or fascicles, they are connected by a connective tissue layer that is called as fascia. They are connected by a connective tissue layer called as fascia, whereas numerous muscle bundles or fascicles are present. These muscle bundles, they have numerous muscle fibers which are present inside them. They have numerous muscle fibers which are present. These muscle fibers again have numerous parallel structures. In them, numerous parallel structures which are present. These are known as myofibrils. These all are known as myofibrils. These myofibrils have alternate dark as well as light bands. These are parallel structures which are present. These have alternate light as well as dark bands. We'll deal with them in next thing. First thing, they have numerous muscle bundles. Each skeletal muscle is comprised of numerous muscle bundles. These muscle bundles are connected by a connective tissue called as fascicles. These fascicles, by fascia they are connected, and each fascicle in turn have numerous muscle fibers which are present. In these muscle fibers, again there are numerous myofibrils which are present. These myofibrils are arranged in parallel plane. They have alternate light as well as dark bands. So normally, these in detail will deal about this myofibrils. These myofibrils are the structural and functional units of skeletal muscle. What are the structural and functional units of muscle is myofibril. Myofibrils. They are arranged parallelly to each other as well as, see, they have alternate light as well as one dark band they will have. Again they will have one light band, again they will have one dark band. So what is this light band is also called as I band. Means isotropic band, and dark band is known as A band. A band means anisotropic band. These light band, I band as well as dark A band. This light I band, it has actin filaments, actin proteins which are present. This dark band has myosin. These light bands are also called as I bands as well as actin protein is present. In dark, A band is present as well as myosin is present. So this actin in the middle, it has one line called as Z line. These I bands, they are bisected in the middle, and this is known as Z line. If two Z lines are present, this is another I band. Here also one Z line is present. In between the two Z lines, the successive, that one is known as sarcomere. The space that is present in between the two Z lines constitutes the sarcomere. Whereas A band, it has a middle one structure that it is bisected by M line. This is very important in NEET. If they want to ask you from locomotion and movement any question, mostly they'll ask you on this actin as well as myosin only. Actin is it is also known as light band or I band, that is isotropic band. This dark band is known as A band, that is anisotropic band, or myosin. This light band is bisected in between as Z line. In between the two Z lines is called sarcomere, whereas in this A band it is bisected by M line, and this M line constitutes for dark band. So there is normally mechanism of muscle contraction takes place by sliding of actin over myosin. These actin filaments that are light bands, they will slide over the myosin for contraction of the muscle. So these thin filaments, light bands are also known as thin filaments, whereas dark bands are also known as thick filaments. So these thin filaments are present on either side of thick filament. This is thick filament in the middle, means this is dark band. These two which are present on the outside, they are called as thin filaments. So this thick filament in the middle, it is not overlapped by the thin filaments. So this mainly constitute the central part of the thick filament. Important NEET question. Central part of the thick filament that is not overlapped by thin filament is known as H zone. H zone. In NEET last year they have asked this question. H zone is present in between it is present in thick filament, it is present in thin filament, like that they ask the question. So the thick filament, the center part of the thick filament which is not overlapped by thin filaments is known as H zone. So the central part of thick, it belongs to thick filament, means A band, it belongs to A band. H zone belongs to A band. Z line belongs to I band. M line belongs to A band. Only the Z line, it belongs to A, that is actin, light band. Whereas all others, M line, H zone, everything, it belongs to myosin, that is dark band, that is A band. So this is about the muscle. Each skeletal muscle is mainly composed of myofibrils. These myofibrils have alternate light and dark bands. Light band is known as actin or thin filaments or I band. Dark band is known as myosin or thick filament or A band. In between the two Z lines there is sarcomere that is present, and Z line bisects the I band, whereas M line bisects the A band. In the center part of the A band, it constitutes the H zone. Why it is called H zone? Because all the thin filaments, they are not overlapped in this zone. So it is this is about the each skeletal muscle. Next we are going to deal in detail about the actin and myosin, that is the structure of actin as well as myosin. So structure of contractile proteins. These proteins, actin as well as myosin, they are called as contractile proteins. Structure of contractile proteins. In the structure of contractile proteins, first comes our actin. Actin, it has two F actins, tropomyosin as well as troponin. whereas myosin, it mainly has one short arm, two heads are present, as well as one tail is present for this myosin. First, actin. So this actin, it has two F actins which are helically bound around each other. These are two filaments, two F actins which are present. They have two F actins, they are helically bound around each other. Along with these two F actins, there is another filament which is passing over in between these two F actin molecules, that is tropomyosin. In between these two, there is tropomyosin also. This is also one filament that is passing, and in between these there are numerous other proteins called as troponins. What is the help of these troponins? These play a very important role in masking the active sites of myosin. Means I told you how the contraction takes place. Generally takes place by sliding of actin over myosin. If there is sliding of actin over myosin, there should be some bonding between these two. So that bond is contributed by these troponins. So they help in masking the active sites of myosin. Means they will remove here, see these are myosin, they will remove the active sites and they help in binding to the actin. So this is about the troponins, and these troponins also play an important role in release of calcium. They play an important role in release of calcium ions. So how these play an important role in release of calcium ions, that we will deal in mechanism of muscle contraction. So this is about the actin, whereas in myosin it has two heads mainly. These two heads, one is heavy-headed meromyosin, another one is light-headed meromyosin. So what are these meromyosins? These meromyosins, they are contractile structures that are present in, means these are the main proteins, contractile proteins that are present in myosin. The myosin is mainly composed of meromyosins, that is contractile proteins. Contractile proteins are present in myosin. These are called as meromyosins. They have two heads, that I told you here two heads are present, that is heavy-headed meromyosin as well as light-headed meromyosin. See these myosins again, they have one short arm as well as one tail is present. So in between these two, that is short arm as well as here, this head, it forms the cross arm. Why it is called as cross arm? Because the heads as well as arm, they are angled in one position, one different position they are angled. So that is about the cross arm. So we have dealt with the structure of contractile proteins. So what are the main two structures which contribute to the contractile proteins are actin as well as myosin. In actin, there are three types, that is two F-actin molecules, one tropomyosin as well as one troponin. Whereas myosin, it has short arm, two heads as well as one tail. That is, they have two F-actin molecules which are helically bound around each other. Two F-actin molecules, two F-actin filaments. So the third filament is tropomyosin, which moves along with these two. Tropomyosin is present. Along with these, there are some other proteins which are present in far off distance from each other. They are known as troponins. What is the use of these troponins? These troponins play an important role in calcium. They help in release of calcium as well as they bound the calcium. Here they help in masking the active sites of the myosin. Next, the myosin filaments mainly. It has one short arm, two heads as well as one tail. Means two heads are present, that is heavy meromyosin, light meromyosin. Along with these two types, there is one short arm which is present as well as one tail, which is known as cross arm. This is an important question they'll ask you. In head as well as arm, they constitute the cross arm. Why it is called as cross arm? Because they are at an angle to each other. One different angle, they are present in one different angle. See, tail is present in one angle, whereas the arm as well as head is present in other angle. So this is about the cross arm. Mainly, what are the contractile proteins that are present in meromyosin? Contractile proteins for myosin are meromyosins. This is about actin as well as myosin. I already told you actin means what? It is also known as I-band, or else it is also called as light band. In this light band as well as dark band only, these actin as well as myosin, these contractile proteins are present. So if they ask you in NEET about I-band, then you should say that actin only. If they ask you about the dark band, then you should describe about myosin. So this is about the structure of contractile proteins. Now I will discuss you some 4 or 5 questions that are related to NEET till now what they have asked. Mainly first question they will ask you about the skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle as well as that smooth muscle. Smooth muscle as well as cardiac muscle, both are involuntary in action. Means they without our consciousness only everything will take place. Like digestive system, we won't concentrate now. Mainly here they'll ask you the NEET questions mainly. That is the structure of that skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle as well as smooth muscle. Mainly they'll ask there the questions, first questions. Next, now I'll ask you in a brief. So, where are intercalated discs present? We'll discuss till now what are the important NEET questions, because so many of you have asked me about what are the NEET questions. I am repeating you in this lecture, but in detail we'll do. So where are intercalated discs present? Intercalated discs are present in cardiac muscle mainly. In cardiac muscle only, before I have showed you. This is the one important NEET question. Where is intercalated discs present? As well as striations are absent in. Striations are absent in mostly the smooth muscle. Striations are absent. Smooth muscle. Only in the smooth muscle striations will be absent. Whereas in all others, striations will be present. That is in cardiac as well as skeletal muscles. The next they'll ask you leukocytes as well as macrophages exhibit which type of movement? Leukocytes as well as macrophages, they exhibit amoeboid movement. Amoeboid movement mainly. Flagellar movement means by flagella only. Flagella is one structure actually. They help in swimming of spermatozoa. Everything, by which movement it takes place, they'll ask you. Flagellar movement Examples is swimming of spermatozoa, like that. Cilia also, ciliary movement also is important here. Everything takes place. Cilia means you already know about trachea and everything. The cilia plays a very important role. As well as next, what about the muscle? Now we'll deal with structure of a muscle. Means in that muscle, what are the bundles which are present? They are known as fascicles. Numerous muscle bundles are present. These are called as fascicles. In each fascicle there is numerous muscle fibers which are present. In each muscle fiber, myofibrils are present. They'll ask you, what are myofibrils? Means myofibrils are structural and functional units of skeletal muscle. So the structural and functional units of skeletal muscle are myofibrils. So this is about the myofibrils. Then myofibrils, they have alternate light and dark band. Light band is also known as I band, whereas dark band it is known as A band, that is anisotropic band. Light and dark alternatively they are present. In light band are also known as thin filaments. In between that it is bisected by Z line. Only Z line belongs to this, whereas M line as well as H zone belong to A band. They belong to A band. So in detail about the structure of contractile proteins also we discussed. For actin, remember simply for actin, F actin are present, two F actins. They are helically bound around each other like this, as well as one troponin as well as tropomyosin as well as troponins are present. Tropomyosin is also helically bound around these F actin molecules, but troponin, these are small molecules. Troponins, the important question they will ask you, where is calcium stored? That is, calcium is stored in troponins, in actin molecules, whereas in myosin, two heads are present like this. These two heads, they have short arm as well as tail, as well as two heads are present. And the main important question is, here there are two sites which are present on the head, that is actin site as well as ATP site. Actin as well as ATP site means in one head actin will come and bound, whereas in other head ATP is hydrolyzed into ADP plus PI. It is hydrolyzed, means ATP is broken down in one head of myosin. In the other head, it will receive the actin molecules. So today we have dealt about all these. These are the main important NEET questions which are related to locomotion and movement. The main important NEET questions I have already discussed. You open your material and just do the questions, you will answer. Tomorrow we will deal with the mechanism of muscle contraction and later about the skeletal movements. Okay.